How many cards have you done?
So I think we've done six. We've got two more to send to you by the end of this week. Oh no, wait, eight. It'll be eight total.
Eight,
So,
eight total, yeah.
yeah.
So it was all email and messenger?
Yep. hmm So many people like at that price point in a good market, they don't give a crap who
Yeah.
you are.
They
Like,
tell their mom
yeah.
on this postcard
Yeah.
price point.
How often is someone buying something else from you?
I would say around 30%.
Dang. So 30% of your advertisers are buying one of your other marketing services.
Yeah.
Wow. You said it's 4 hours away.
Yeah.
Are you prospecting all this remotely?
Yeah. It was all through Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Facebook Messenger?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, like just get on there and message the business pages. That's how we've been selling out all of our cards. I would rather do more cards and make the same amount of profit than spend months trying to fill the 9 by 12s when the community cards fill in a few days. So,
Today I've got Dalton and Rachel of Big Sky Automations in Montana. They are cranking these cards out, especially recently. They're putting out multiple ones per month. And they're doing a community card format, which is a little bit different than a 9 by 12, but the price point is really low and really, really easy to get clients on. They are totally crushing it. They do digital marketing. They're using AI to do some crazy stuff, and they're doing almost all of their ads. I'm pretty sure they do them all faceless. They're doing it all over like Facebook, emails. We're going to get them on here right now. In a second, you're going to learn everything. It's great to have you on here. I've been meaning to have you guys on here. You guys are doing great.
thank you. Appreciate that.
How many cards have you done?
So, I think we've done six. We've got two more to send to you by the end of this week. Oh, no, wait, eight. It'll be eight total.
Eight,
So,
eight total. Yeah.
yeah.
And how it seems like lately you're pushing them out really fast, though. It seems like you're doing
Yeah.
multiple a month.
Yeah, we
Right?
are. So in our area in Missoula, we're doing three a month, and then we just expanded to Bozeman. So we're shooting to do two a month in Bozeman, which is about 4 hours from us. And then we're actually looking at adding Indianapolis because we're from Indianapolis. And we did a lot of research on direct mail in that area. So we are going to add one to two in Indianapolis here soon. So that's kind of our goal.
Doing the Bozeman, which is you said is 4 hours away.
Yeah. Mhm.
Are you going there and so are you prospecting all this remotely?
Yeah, it was all through Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just get on there and message the business pages. And that's how we've been selling out all of our cards, which it's not really sustainable. So we're switching a lot to like automated emails because Facebook cuts you off. One day it could cut you off after 5 messages. The next day it cuts you off after 30. So like you never know
Yep.
when Facebook is going to be like, no more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And it is scary to have one channel that you are getting all your business from because you never know. Overnight that could change. It's
right.
terrifying.
Yeah.
So I always
Yep.
I always get worried when I'm reliant on any one channel. It's like especially when these platforms are known to just change things or be unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, anyone we come in contact with, we put them in our database. And then when we're going back to like the previous cards and filling those again, then we're reaching out to previous customers and like people that we've been in contact in the
Mm.
past. So that's where we like set up our CRM to automate that process. And so, yeah, we're just trying to like pull them from Facebook and get them into our CRM so we can keep hitting them in the future from our own platform.
What CRM are you using?
Go high level.
Yeah. Well, tell us about you guys. What's your history? How'd you get started? What were you doing before?
Yeah. So actually way back, I came from healthcare and I used to work in the lab testing tissue samples. And then I did a lot of travel work. So we went all over the country for that. And then I transitioned into healthcare sales and marketing. So I was kind of like the one managing accounts, handling social media marketing and that kind of stuff. And then, I mean, that was what I was doing before we started Big Sky Automation. And you can tell
Yeah,
tell us.
a little bit about me. I started delivering pizzas, and then I worked my way up to being a university instructor. I used to teach automation, so I worked with robotics, PLCs, and that's the kind of stuff that goes in like elevators, conveyor belts, and stuff like that. And then so I kind of took that avenue and brought it into a marketing aspect where we can do database reactivation, email campaigns. I do Google ads, send up forms like that. And then we also do reputation management. So that's kind of like how I brought my background into marketing. And then we found like an avenue that wasn't through you. And that's kind of how we stepped into the direct mail piece, because we follow Dan Kennedy and Russell Brunson. And then they always bring in people talking about like, how do you get your advertising for free? This is the only avenue is print mail. You can't get a Google ad and get somebody else to pay for it. So that's really like, when we found that idea, there was another person kind of doing like the 9x12 method. And then you want to kind of explain like how we stumbled upon Jake?
So I'm sure you know him, Jacob Daly, right?
Yes. Yeah.
In Utah. Yeah. So we were following him on TikTok. And so we're like, okay, cool. Like, let's do this. Let's plug this into our business. We think it's a great avenue. And then we had searched many, online printers, and we had selected Got Print. And then we filled our first 9x12 card. It comes to like place the order to put the print order in, and their indicia is like in the middle of like the whole template, the bottom ads. So it was going to screw up everything. So we're on the phone with them trying to figure that out. And they had told us, they were like, oh, it can be anywhere, but the template is like set in stone. So we were like, we were told that this can go anywhere. And so, I mean, that whole day we were scrambling, trying to find somebody. We're like, maybe we do this ourselves and we'll just handle the mailing part. But then we called Jacob Daly. We're like, hey, who do you use for print? Because he's got it where we have it. And he was like, oh, Jake Lorraine. And before we talked to Jacob, we had watched you on YouTube because we were like trying to figure out the process. We're like, well, if we have to do this ourselves, we got to learn. So Dalton pulled up.
It's actually kind of a funny moment. I was like, holy hell, we got to figure out how to do EDDM. And I pulled up YouTube, and thankfully you were like the first person. I was like, dude, this guy just explained it so well. Like, we got this. And then we end up going through and asking the post office, like trying to get information about like where the indicia can go. And they're like,
they don't.
Well, hell if I know. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
We talked to 2 post offices. They had no clue. And so we ended up calling Jacob Daly, and we're like, dude, how are you doing this? Like, you have to tell us. And he was like, oh, it's Jake. I'm like, who the hell's Jake? And he ends up giving us like your website information and your contact info. And then that's kind of really how we stumbled upon like the whole ecosystem of the 9x12 and how things are being, taken care of, and how you're got your own community, your YouTube presence. Like, it really kind of made everything click together once we found you.
Yeah. So that mistake, like choosing Got Print, led to all this, and we're so thankful. We love mistakes.
Well, I certainly appreciate them screwing that up.
Yeah.
Were you trying to get free advertising originally? Because you had mentioned like you were enamored by the free advertising. Were you trying to just advertise your business on a card?
Yeah, it was sort of the way. And I mean, our business is more B2B versus B2C. So when we do those B2B mailings, we're still getting it paid for. So we've done a couple of those. We've got one to send you by the end of this week. So yeah, I mean, we bought a list from the Chamber of Commerce here of all the business owners, and that's who we mail to. And we have other people hop on with us, and we don't pay a thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really true that this is the only platform you can get free advertising.
Yeah.
Just get other people to pay for it. And then they win too. Yeah. They get it cheaper too. It's
right.
It's
exactly.
incredible. Do you know that? I don't know if you know this story, but that's how Virgin Airlines was born.
Richard. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you really quick. It's really interesting. Richard Branson, the billionaire, owns Virgin Hotels, Virgin Airlines, and everything. This is like in the 70s or something. He was flying to, I think he was in like Miami and trying to get to Puerto Rico or something like that. And he really had to get there. And his plane was delayed or canceled. The flight was canceled. And he like desperately had to get to whatever island. Oh, it was the Virgin Islands. He was trying to get the Virgin Islands. And he came up with this idea. He said, what will it cost to charter a plane, to get a private jet to charter? And he like calls around. This is at the airport. He calls around, finds that it's like 30 grand or something. And he puts a sign up that says Virgin Airlines and gets all the people who are trying to go there to buy a seat on the plane. And he gets enough people. He figures out how many and he adds himself in there so he'd get his flight for free. He says, I need to fill 23 people at however much. And he fills it and puts a sign up called Virgin Airlines and gets all the people to buy a seat on the thing. And that started Virgin Airlines, realized that he could get
I
the
love
flight
that.
for free. And then the same thing
So
with the
cool.
postcards. Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Your business name is Big Sky Automations. So tell me more about all the stuff that you guys are doing for businesses, because I think people will be really interested in that.
Yeah, go ahead. You're like automation king.
Yeah, so one of our services that we do that is, heavily most of our business is reputation management. And then that's basically where we're building a system to grow their business with reviews, and then we're optimizing their Google business profile. Most of our sourcing, we're actually getting customers from the community postcards. That's kind of like our foot in the door offer. And then from there, we're setting up the automations to send out a review request for that person. So all they have to do is basically bring in a list of people, and then on like a CVS file, and then we send it out in like a drip campaign. And then, your best SEO that you can get for a business is honestly your Google reviews. So if you get like 1,000 of them, pictures and, the services that they got specific and the great job that was done. And then we also set up AI to respond to those reviews as well. So it's a completely like almost hands off, other than just getting the business and sending the review request. And then we've got automations that follow up, and they don't even have to touch it. It just follows up trying to get those reviews as well. I think it's up to 3 times that we've got so far. And then we also do Google ads. So we can do pay-per-click, and then we do LSA. Those are, we're kind of growing that one. We just started that one a few months ago. But that's primarily heavily around the niche roofing right now. That's what we're trying to build and kind of go down that path, so we can build out a whole snapshot and go high level. And then we can just start to duplicate that over and over again, especially with website buildings, like for the funnel pages that need to go down. And then Rachel, she's really handling the heavy direct mail piece of it so far.
And it's been such a no-brainer offer with the community cards that's going really well. The 9x12, we did a couple of those. And in our area, it was kind of tough. Like, it didn't fly off the shelves. It was really sort of a grind to get people to pay that $500-$600 price point in our area. So we were just like, how do we pivot this? Because we know how valuable direct mail is, and like that people would want this if they could afford it. So we were going on vacation for a couple months, and we were going to Oregon and Washington. We were actually driving there. We were listening to one of your lives, and you were talking about the community cards and that price point. And we were like, that's it. That's what we have to try. And so we got to Oregon, we got set up because we took like our travel trailer with us. And within 3 days, I had the first community card sold out, and we were in Oregon, selling in Montana. So I was like, okay, this is it.
They are great. And I don't like, sometimes I'll go months without even like remembering to tell people about them. Everyone gets so infatuated with 9x12, but community cards are amazing. What price point are you selling an ad, and how many ads per card?
So we're doing 16 at $150.
Yes.
When we move to the Indianapolis market, we're going to do 199, and we're going to do 12. So it's going to be a little bit bigger ads and less ads on the card. So yeah, I mean, we're so excited. I would rather do more cards and make the same amount of profit than spend months trying to fill the 9x12s when the community cards fill in a few days. So
they do. They fill
really
so fast. That low price point is so good. Now, key distinction is that you guys are using this to bring people in for your other services. You're not, which is smart, it's the way it should be. You're not trying to make all this profit on these cards, and that's your sole business. This is just a thing to bring in people and give them a lot of value, and be able to offer them that LSA reputation management. That is the perfect way to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's working really well. Like, it's such a low price point that they get to work on something small with us, just give us a little bit of money, and then learn about us and trust us and see how we
Right.
work. And it's actually led to a potential partnership on a roofing company, because we can come in and partner with businesses in many different ways, whether it's acquiring the business or partnering with them to help them exit. We've got a fourth partner who works pretty closely with private equity. So we kind of just take the businesses to private equity level and help them exit. So it kind of just opens up the door for so many things. Like such a small thing can lead to so many more big things. So
Totally.
that's our
Totally.
goal.
And you get all that free advertising too. You get
Mhm.
your name just constantly in front of people.
Yep.
I don't personally, I don't have to do shared postcards, but I'll do them through the year just to keep relevance, you know, just to keep
Right.
my name relevant, just to bring in more people, just so I don't like go into oblivion and locally, you know, it just
Yeah.
keeps your name in there. And you can always, there's a lot of people, they'll do shared postcards and then they'll get clients from it for their SEO or web development or whatever they're doing. And then that tapers off or plateaus after a while. And then they'll do more cards 5 years later. Like it's always just a great way to bring in new people.
And a lot of times we put our own ad, like for the postcards, on the community cards. So we have it like really small, like with our phone number. And then on most of them, we've been putting like a full ad for ourselves too. And we've gotten calls from it because we're sending
Have you?
to high-end neighborhoods. Yeah. Like, so business owners live there. We've gotten like 3 or 4 people
Yeah.
off of that. Yeah.
Do you have any of your cards offhand with you? I'll display them on the
Yeah.
screen, but it'd be great if you. Yeah. Perfect.
The camera's backwards, so.
Yeah, it's good. It'll record perfect, but yeah, you probably see it backwards, but I see it.
Yeah.
I see you got
So
the
I'm
Big
going
Sky
okay.
shirt too. You got the shirts. You got the Big
Yes.
Sky shirts.
Yep.
Nice.
Repping the shirts.
Nice. Is that a Montana thing? Because I've heard that somewhere. Is that like a
Yeah,
phrase?
it is. Montana's like Big Sky State. That's
Dalton,
its
you got
nickname.
you got a accent. Is that a Montana accent?
No, I'm from Indiana.
Oh.
I'm from the cornfield country.
That's a cornfield accent.
Is it flat there? I've never seen flat. Is it the flat like
In-
Kansas or something? Is it flat?
Oh yeah.
Like
In
Oh, yeah.
Indiana?
Yeah,
I've never
it's
seen
horrible.
flat. I've never seen like where you
You're
just
lucky.
look and it's flat. I've never seen that. Never
Yeah.
seen that
You
in my
see the
life.
Earth start to curve.
Yes. Like, do you just see? I mean, I see pictures or something. It's hard for me to comprehend. Like, it's just flat, just all flat.
Not worth seeing. Yeah.
So
Look like
you-
hills.
yeah, it's like
But-
if you're not in the city, it's just like a bunch of back roads that got a bunch of cornfields and wheat and like
Some trees.
yeah, you probably go 10 miles before you see another house. Yeah.
Crap. But Montana, I mean, that's what I assume. I assume Montana is just, it's hilly. There's mountains, there's wide spaces, not a lot of population. But the Missoula is populated, right? And Bozeman is like that's a touristy.
Yeah.
It's right. It's money.
Bozeman is like 60,000, but yeah, high-end businesses, high-end homes. Yeah, that's like a
We
really
used to have
touristy area.
the mine there, and that's what really brought people.
Like a gold
I
mine.
don't know much. Yeah, and I think oil too,
hmm
where they're doing a bunch of fracking, and so it was a very good place that people would go to work and make money. And then I think a lot of drugs came in, and then everybody scattered
meth.
like bugs.
Yeah.
Freaking meth.
Yes. That's why we live in
Yeah.
Stevensville, which is like 40 minutes outside of Missoula, and the population here is like 2,000. So it's like real quiet. We're on 5 acres and got space. And
What are people doing wrong? You're in the Facebook group. You see some people they're having trouble. What are people doing wrong when they start a shared postcard business or a local marketing business for local businesses? What are they doing wrong?
I think that the biggest thing that I see is that they're not starting. They're just not doing it. You know, they'll post and they'll research and they'll tweak and they'll do this, but they never actually start.
Yeah.
Like, we had no idea what we were pitching. We just started
Just do it.
calling and emailing.
Yeah.
We just did it, and it all came together. You learn as you go. Like, if you just take the steps, like, you don't have to know what step 2 is. You just have to know what step 1 is. Even if you kind of know, just do it.
100%.
We're kind of coaching a 9x12er right now to, because it helps us learn if we get to hear another experience and what they're going through. Maybe they've got something we might learn from them. But just to give you kind of an example of what we're seeing wrong with just this person, I don't want to name drop because I don't want to embarrass them or anything, but they sent us an email and they said, "How's my pitch?" And it was great. It doesn't matter. The market will tell you yes or no if your pitch is good or not. So like we just tell everybody, yeah, go for it. You'll find out quick if it works or doesn't work. And then they sent another email an hour and a half later after I just told them go for it, start pitching, and it says, "Well, I just refined my pitch again. What do you think about this?" And then they said they hadn't done any outreach for an hour and a half, just working on an email, and it's like that is the least important thing that you need to worry about. Just start talking to people. You're gonna hear a lot of no's before you hear a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what should I really do. Should I do 16 point, not 14 point? What if the indicia's here? What if the post office isn't? I want to talk to the post office before like just do this thing. Go talk to some business owners, right? If you're sitting there, spending weeks just deciding if you're gonna pick 16 point or 14 point cards, this is you can't be doing that. You gotta talk to people. So you're doing it mostly through Facebook Messenger. Explain that
to
process.
Begin with. Yeah. So now in Missoula, we've built up a pretty good like database of Missoulians that we can hit back for the next cards. So now we don't do as much Facebook for Missoula. We kind of just go to our database. So like when we were doing Bozeman, we started with Facebook so that we can get people's contact information, get them interested, and then put them in the database. When we do Indianapolis, it will be the same. Like start with Facebook, move them to our database, and then keep sustaining it from there.
What are the businesses you go for?
Always home services, dentist. He's been like there we go. He's been our best client. He always buys like the biggest spot possible. We've got window washing, auto detailing, excavation. That's very common out here. Painting, HVAC, a restaurant, construction company, fencing, equipment rental, and RV purchasing.
I'd say construction is definitely out here in our market like the easiest person to get on here. Mm-hmm. Like you only have to probably get 2 or 3 people and they're like, "Please get me on here."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, home service is all right. You don't have good luck with realtors? Oh yeah, I remember you were complaining about that one time, and I remember that. Well, the problem is most realtors aren't actual realtors. They're hobby.
Right.
It's like 80-90% of all of them are just they do this. Yeah. They got their license and they maybe get one home sale a year, maybe. It's something like 80% didn't even sell a home in the last year. Most aren't.
Yeah. Well, I reached out to one of the biggest realtors in our town, and his average listing is 500,000 to 1.2 million, and he's currently got 12 listings active. So I reached out to him, and he sent me this big long message about how the ROI isn't there, and he doesn't see the value in it. Usually, it'll take 6 to 7 touch points to ever get a listing, and I'm like, so 6 to 7 touch points at $150, is that worth it to sell $1 million home? I don't know. Just me.
Yeah. Stupid. They don't. Yeah. Some of them don't understand that. It still bugs me. And this is like a decade ago. There was a guy that said this know-it-all. Still bugs me. It still grinds on me. The guy goes direct mail. He goes 3% return. He goes, "I'm not doing that." And I'm like, if you got a 3% return on this, you'd be like a bazillionaire, like an idiot.
Right.
3% return. And that's what he says. No. He just goes up. I'm like, "Are you kidding?" He was a car sale. He was like, it sold cars. Like, if you got a 3% return on this thing, you'd be selling like 50 cars a month on like a $500 ad. Like, stupid. Sometimes they're so dumb. They're so dumb.
Yeah.
I got one that sticks with me pretty bad. I call this guy and it's 6 cents a card. I'll be just to tell you what it is. Yeah. And I like, "Hey, It's $150 to be on this starting. And he goes, $150? Like, dude, I could get way better ROI on an Instagram ad. It's like I could get it a couple cents, and it just blew me away that
Yep.
this dude is like, his math is
Yep.
not mathing.
No, they don't. People will spend, $300 to get 10,000 views on Instagram or TikTok that does nothing. And they feel,
Yeah.
a 10,000 viewed TikTok would be like a tremendous success, and they'd see zero from it. They'd see
Yep.
nothing from it. But 10,000 homes is like, to them, is nothing, isn't relevant. They're idiots. Yeah. And there's lots of them. I mean, they're dumb. Some of them are great at what they do, but the marketing is just not their thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what we see when we're looking at businesses to acquire. Like, they say it like loud and proud. They're like, we run on referrals.
I'm word of mouth.
Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, so when Bob the painter goes
Yes.
away and Rachel and Dalton own this company and all of your little friends and family that are your clients go with you.
The church,
Yep.
too. You can't forget the
Worth
church
nothing.
Right.
referrals.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Worth nothing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Another thing I like about the postcard business too is that it is an asset. It's an asset that you can potentially sell. To I know plenty of 9x12ers and sharebooks that have successfully sold their businesses. If you have a stable of clients, it is something you can sell. I wanted to bring up too, you had mentioned the reputation management and how important those reviews are. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I'm with you all the way on that. I think for reviews for SEO is the best thing ever. What is your process of getting them reviews? What can they do?
I truly recommend it for businesses that kind of already have some, flow of customers. It doesn't have to be a ton, but I recommend reputation management way before I recommend somebody spending $1,000 on SEO, some SEO guru to come whip you up some fancy website, write you a couple blogs. You don't need any of that expensive stuff. But what we do is we charge $297 to onboard a client. We put them into our CRM. They have full access to everything. They can look at all the analytics in there. And then once we get them onboarded, we have to go through basically getting a phone number set up for them, and then we do an email set up for them. And then once they're able to provide the customer list to us, then we're able to start an automation that is completely revolved around SMS and email. There's actually a cool trick that we do where once we build the email template out, we can have two buttons, and one that says like, yes, my experience was great, I'd love to leave a review. And the other one is like, need support, and you put it in red because red is really associated with something negative. And this is something that is around, it basically gets you around the whole review. I think it's called review gating, where it's basically you're trying to only filter out good reviews.
Yeah.
And Google will watch for that, and you can get your account suspended if I don't know how they figured it out, but
they do.
The Google guide can.
I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware that they were cracking down on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cool trick is like when you build out that email template and that red button, the kind of like that'll take them to a whole nother landing page where basically they get to put in a support reason why they didn't have a good experience instead of the green button that actually takes you to the link to leave a Google review. So like,
wow,
it's not review gating. It's trying to redirect the customer to get the support they need. So it's very important that you do keep up on these things, and you want to get as many 5-star reviews as you can. And we're not only here to help customers build, 5-star from the beginning, like we can help people start to round out their average overall score, because we've worked with somebody that's had a 4.2 and then we raised them up to a 4.6 and within 90 days, because we've got these systems in place that are able to filter out good reviews and then get the customers that didn't have a good experience that support they needed to hopefully turn it around, or they might go tell you to kick rocks. It's totally up to them.
How do you feel about what is the benefit of having great reviews? How does that translate to? Is it because it's now Google's going to display you more often, or are the people going to be sold because they read the reviews? What's the big benefit?
So the big thing is, I think it's up to 90% of people that are actually looking at a business online read reviews. And so they're huge. And then you do show up more on Google because of the keywords that other people are leaving in reviews. And then when they leave pictures as well, that's also ranking you better. So that's why Google reviews are like a way better SEO than like having a great website. Like you could have the worst website in the world and be clunky and a phone number, but your reviews say you're kick ass, and like you're just gonna, that phone's gonna blow up.
Yeah. And like to give you an example, when we were in Port Angeles, Washington, and since it's so close to Canada, there's poutine. So we were trying to find poutine. And so we just like searched poutine in Port Angeles, and this restaurant came up. It's not on the menu, but somebody mentioned it in the reviews. So they came up. So we knew they had poutine. We're like, we know you got it.
From the reviews, right?
Yes.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you have any insight? I've noticed on I have 200 something reviews. I can't remember, but there's Google displays a summary in there of like 3 like really like specific reviews, and it's always the same. I've seen over the last like 3 years, it's the same 3 reviews. Do you know what I'm talking about? And they're great. Do you know how I'm not a master at that. I just kind of do it. But when I look up mine, printing for super cheap, like it summarizes the reviews and it spits out like 3 of the like specific ones. I always see the same ones. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Oh, I do.
And one of mine is like, I don't know how he prices these things so well. It's like, or so cheap. And it's a great review. And it's just Google decides to show that. Yeah, it's right here. I see it when I search my thing up. It shows these 3 reviews. I don't know how he prices his products and service so reasonably. Blown away by the price and incredible customer relations. The quality is perfection. Pricing is great. And the customer service is amazing. How did those 3 reviews always get shown in this summary? At least on my end, when I scroll down, I see them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Do you see, if you search, I don't know if you'll, because I don't know how geographic it is, but if you search up printing for super cheap with the number 4, you might have to put like Whitesboro, New York. And you see the reviews and you scroll down, you see, I always see these 3 reviews that Google just decides to show out of 262 of them.
Most relevant, probably.
Yeah, because they're not always sorted by like date and things like that.
No, because these are old. These are like 3 years
right.
old, and it always shows those. And I always wondered, what is like, how does Google pick those? Which is great.
Right. So do they have pictures in those reviews?
I don't know, because you can't even. Oh yeah, I can pull them up. No, there's no picture on this, and this one is 3 years ago. So weird.
Because I was gonna say, I know that when you go and leave a review, like when I left a review for you, it gives me like a certain amount of points, like for a detailed review, for pictures and stuff like that. So I know that sometimes they pick those out, like if you scored higher, meaning it was like a fantastic review, lots of detail, pictures, and stuff like that, it would highlight those first. But if those don't have pictures, I'm not sure.
Yeah, interesting.
But it sounds like it was just a lot of emphasis on how good your service is. So it could very well just be picking that out.
I also noticed when I clicked one of them that person had a ton of reviews. They look like they were a really active. So Google probably does provide those people a lot of weight to their reviews. Maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder if too, maybe someone who fairly gives reviews, maybe they have a lot of mixed like ones. They're not, everything is a 5-star. I wonder if you're like a local guide and you give critical reviews plus good reviews, and then you leave one that provides a lot of weight to whatever that business, the one they give a 5-star review to. I wonder.
Yeah.
Do you think?
We know a guy, Tim.
Yep.
He's like a, whatever it's called. What is it called? Like a superstar reviewer.
Yeah.
Google,
I think it's called a local guide.
Yeah. And that kind of is how it is. Like his reviews are weighted pretty heavy because he leaves so many.
Well, he had a conversation with a business coach, and what they recommended is like try to him to pitch himself that he's like some Google review guru, and like his opinion is very important because he's like within like the top 10% of people who leave reviews,
Hmm.
and they kind of wanted to frame it in a some kind of venture to make money, like, oh, value my opinion.
Yeah, like they would pay him to come and have dinner at the restaurant or whatever.
Yeah, that he leave a review.
Then he leaves a bad one. Freaking-
Right? I'll pay for this.
Well, I really want to emphasize how well you guys are doing this, and that you're using this to bring in people for your core services, right? Because your bread and butter is the other stuff, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct.
high margins.
Hmm.
Yeah.
High margins and recurring.
And there's nothing wrong with using postcards to make a side income, to make a great income, but they're really, really useful to just bring people in. It's hard to find things to give to people or have at a low price point that actually has a lot of value, right? It's tough.
Yeah.
The postcards are perfect for that because they do give a lot of value you can make them for a really low price point. It's the best thing in my opinion.
Yeah, without having to like give away our services for extremely cheap, where
Right.
we're putting in a lot of work to get everything set up. Like, especially with the community cards and the design, like it's super simple.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of time on our hands to do this. And then, yeah, it just kind of funnels them into our whole circle as a whole. So
That is the right way to do it. To have a core service that you make your margins on, and you don't have to discount. You should never be discounting the thing that you're really trying to sell. That hurts you so bad when you try to discount it. People put together SEO packages or something. If your main business is SEO, you don't want to be discounting that thing. You want to use
Right.
something else to get people in. And if you want to sell web design or SEO or reputation management, you probably shouldn't be promoting that. You should be promoting the thing that gets people in the door, and then they trust you and they say, what else can you do for me? Right?
Right.
I tell people all the time, like, if I can sell all the SEO I want because I've got so many happy people from postcards that they just trust me. I don't have to even pitch them. You know, I can just say, hey, I can do this. Do you want me to do this for you? They trust you. Go for it. This sounds great. It's hard to sell those things on their own. It's really hard.
Yeah, you kind of have to, I mean, it's always about know, like, and trust. And so if they can pay you a small amount of money and do something with you that doesn't require long-term commitment, doesn't require thousands out of their pocket, and they get to know you and they like you and trust you, then that just opens the door for so many things. Like it's worked both ways where we've approached clients that we know would be good for our other services and pitch them after they've been on the postcard, and then they, take us up on our offer. And it's also been the other way too, where somebody calls us and they're like, what else do you do? And we're like, oh, we do this, this, this. They're like, great, let's do it.
Yep.
So it's just really cool.
How long do you wait? You get someone on the postcard. Do you bring up your other services right away, or do you wait a while till you bring something else up?
We usually wait until whichever postcard they're on goes out. And then we kind of reconnect with them. We let them know, hey, it's hitting mailboxes. Here's what else we do.
How often is someone buying something else from you after the postcard? Or what percentage? You have any idea on that?
I would say around 30%.
Dang.
Yeah.
So 30% of your advertisers are buying one of your other marketing services.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I know a 9x12er that's really successful. He doesn't have any other service. And I'm always telling him, like,
really?
You are leaving so much money on the table. Like, you got to sell more than just the postcard spaces. These are people that love, and he's got advertisers that have been with him for years. And he just,
oh gosh, he could do so much.
I know. And he just doesn't, and he knows it, but he just doesn't he just won't sell them anything else. Oh, also, I should mention, are you guys available for, because I've been mentioning to people, hit you guys up, Big Sky Automations, Rachel and Dalton, up for coaching if you want to pay them something and get their insight. Are you available for that? For
Yeah,
people who want to
absolutely. We would love to.
reach out to you and
Hmm.
maybe get walked by the hand. What would you say advice wise for someone who's just starting out? Give some really good advice just starting out.
I would say don't get stuck in your head. Um, Whatever you come up with the first time to reach out to somebody, send it, get it done. If you feel like that wasn't good enough, pick up the phone and call them. It really is just about action. Like you can sit there and tweak your plan, tweak your prospecting list for days on end, write this email, change it to this, but that's not going to get you anywhere. The only thing that is going to get you somewhere is just doing it and just taking that action and stay consistent. If there's anything that I can recommend, it's staying consistent with those actions. And you're going to learn as the time goes on, okay, this pitch didn't work. This industry in my area, not really good for these, and just keep adjusting from there. So I think a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this too, you can just sit there and stay in your head, but if you stay in your head, that's not where the money's at.
And use Jake for printing.
And use Jake
Yeah,
for
you should. There's
sure.
no reason not to.
There's literally
no
no.
reason not
I have a
to.
story that we talked to another 9x12er, and he's in the same state, but he's not around us, and he decided to save a buck or two and use somebody local, and they printed 10,000, and he had two images to send him, and they printed the same image on both sides.
Wow.
That wouldn't happen with Jake.
Yep. No, it wouldn't. Unreal. Yeah, it's not worth, in most cases you can't even save money. Very few local printers can do UV gloss too. They're usually going to do them on really, really thin cardstock.
Yep.
Which isn't the worst, but then it gets beat up pretty bad when it shows up in the mail. It doesn't look as nice, and still, even it's most likely not a good. Then does Montana have sales tax? A lot of states have sales tax.
No
sales tax. You're one of the few that don't have sales tax.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
states
a
have
beautiful
sales tax. We don't have to charge sales tax out of state, which is nice. Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
Montana. Doing it remotely. If you don't mind talking a little bit about remotely, what is your strategy to? You've already started filling up cards for Bozeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually finished one, and that went out.
Actually, we just sent it to you for
print,
that's
a Bozeman. Okay, yeah, Bozeman card.
That's the Bozeman card. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All 100%. I mean, it's 4 hours away. You said, right? So
yeah.
Nope. Didn't waste a lick of gas.
Wow.
And I think, gosh, I'm trying to remember, but I want to say we only got on the phone with like less than half.
It was less than half.
Yeah.
So it was all email and messenger.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So many people, like at that price point in a good market, they don't give a crap who you are.
They tell their mom on this postcard price point.
Yes.
Right. You can.
Yeah.
Community cards are great. Their price point's low. It's easy. It doesn't make you a fortune in profit, but that's not the point of it. You're just getting people on this card. Even if you don't have something else to sell yet, you can just having this many clients, having 16 clients suddenly paying business owners is amazing for anyone starting out. I wish they'd listen to that more. Maybe they'll listen to you guys saying it. They always want to make, but I can't make $10,000. I can't make 10 grand.
Right.
Like you got to get that out of your head.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I think there's a lot of hype around the 9x12 and the amount of profit that you can make. But I mean, that's just not what it is for us. So we have a business coach who harps on everybody about your email list, your database, who is in your database. So when you want to turn around and sell your business, what customers are in there that, that you're selling basically. So that's always what we're focusing on. How do we get people into our database? How do we get people into the database? That's the biggest thing. And this is a fantastic way to do it.
Are you guys hoping to sell your business at some point? Is that a big plan for you guys?
Yeah. It is.
What do you think the next thing will be after that?
Probably bolt this marketing on, maybe do a roll up. But I think our biggest focus right now for the acquisition space is our third partner. He actually ran a residential construction company for 30 years. So we're looking for roofing, concrete. So if you guys know any business owners that are looking to sell, that's like not a licensed one, like HVAC or plumbers or electricians, like any other ones, like concrete work, roofing. We're really looking for those home service businesses that we can grow and exit those, maybe do a roll up.
Nice.
Because like we really want to install this into a consumer-based business that we also own, because we know, I mean, you've talked about it with, your old company, and this is what you used to do. And so we know that if we acquired a consumer-based business and installed this into it, we could skyrocket it and build it to sell to private equity. So that's our biggest goal that we're working towards right now.
Like, you learn these systems, you can bring them on into almost any business, but home services are great. What a great thing. I mean, you tie that in with reviews, with review management, with postcards, with LSA, like you can just totally crush it, especially if the business has some kind of traction. And you guys have all those systems in place.
We're obviously growing Big Sky Automation Services, and that's our livelihood and our income. But the acquisition, that just seems like so much fun. And we've done a few things where we partnered with some business owners to help them kind of tighten things up, teach them how to install marketing into their business and things like that. So we've done a few things in that regard where they were looking to exit. We come in and help kind of clean things up. And that's just so much fun to me. So yeah, we really want to do something big with everything that we've learned and, tie Big Sky into it. And it would just be a blast.
How do you guys work as partners? Give us some advice for people who have a partner in business. What are some things that keep things functioning well, or things you should be cognizant of? Or
I think the biggest thing that I learned was that we kind of like all of our services, we would both work on them. And, because we were thinking like, we're a team, let's do this all together. But we've kind of since, like, I do mostly the postcards. He does a lot with the Google ads and the brand reputation management, because we know our strengths. So he's good with the technology, the CRM, and I'm good at talking to people, even though I don't necessarily like it. So he kicks me out there to go talk to people.
Don't let her lie.
So anything that's like customer facing, I'm taking that on. I'm handling the postcards. All communications are mainly through me. And he does like a lot of the back end stuff. So just play to your strengths. You don't have to do everything in the business. Like, you want to feel like a team and that you're helping your partner out, but it doesn't have to be that way. And it's going to run a whole lot smoother if you just stick to your strengths.
Does it run into an issue where one seems to be doing more work than the other?
No, I wouldn't say so.
I'd say Rachel does a lot of definitely the admin work. Like she can, her little beady little fingers on her phone. So she's really great at communication. She watches the emails. She's always responding to people, I kind of handle like the fulfillment work in terms of like setting up people in the CRM or creating like their web pages for their Google ads. But I think that this business really thrives having Rachel as like the front man and talking to people, because most people aren't threatened or think they're getting a car salesman.
Yeah, totally.
A woman.
Yeah. I really think, females do really have an advantage, I feel, in that sense. They're just not as threatening.
Yeah.
Just not as threatening.
And I'm only 4 feet tall, so they can't be threatened.
Are you really just 4 feet? No, you're taller.
I'm 4'10".
Oh,
Ah, and
410. Yeah.
410.
Still, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty small. So they just don't.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just don't feel that threatening. No, it's true. It really is. It really is true. I think females are great salespeople. But they have that advantage. Any funny story? You got any funny stories or anything like anything you can think of? Something
Well,
crazy.
I can't think of anything crazy, but I know more than once we've had somebody, I know there has to be.
Huh.
More than once we've had somebody say, oh, you hit us up about this a year ago and it was crap. No thanks. And it was like first time ever talking to you. So I don't know who you talk to.
Yeah.
Um, oh my gosh. Anything.
We're pretty professional people. I don't know.
But you've had rejection, right? Like,
Oh
you've
yeah,
had
ton.
people say no, say this is
Mhm.
stupid, this is
Yeah.
or this is not. I love when they try to school you on it, and they tell you this is the dumbest thing that you're doing, and
Yep.
I love that.
We've had people say, I'll pay if you can guarantee customers,
Oh God,
or I'll
Yep,
only pay if I get customers. And it's like, oh my
Yep.
God,
Ugh.
if the world worked that way.
Oh man, yeah,
I wanna ask you a question, Jake.
sure.
We like when we were kind of searching around for printing, there were other providers that were like trying to bash other
Mm.
printers and say like
Mm.
people throw EDDM away. Like I'm sure they throw excess away because they like banned them in 100. Like obviously numbers aren't that calculated, but like, can you bust the myth up for people and really let them know that if that's true or not?
Do you mean the printer is throwing stuff away or the mail carrier?
The mail.
They're saying that the mail carrier is throwing
Gotcha.
and not delivering any.
Gotcha.
They said
I could talk all day about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been meaning to make a whole video on that. I really should. It's a valid question because you wonder, like, are these mail carriers throwing out mail? Because you hear about those things. You see them in the headlines, mail carrier throws out mail. And you wonder. And sometimes you do a mailing and your friend says they didn't get one, and then it's like, oh my God, did they just throw this away? Did it even get delivered? I'm trying to think of where to start on this. There's a lot of reasons why someone maybe didn't get a piece in the mailbox. It is extremely unlikely. It's I wouldn't say impossible, but it's almost impossible for your mailers not to get delivered. So let's run through a bunch of situations that can happen. One, you could have a printer that doesn't actually mail it. I don't think people really think about this one. And that's actually a pretty big thing of mailing fraud that happens. The printers won't actually mail all the pieces. They could just say they mailed it and then keep your money, the postage. So some people don't think of that. Maybe the printer didn't actually mail it. If they can make hundreds, thousands of dollars, by not mailing all of them or mailing half of the mailing or something, they could do that. So sometimes a legitimate thing that didn't get mailed could be the printer not actually sending it out and keeping your postage money. Okay, they don't do 20,000 pieces out of 300,000 they were supposed to. And now they just made 10 grand, that business doesn't even know. That's one thing. The printer could actually not mail. That's one thing that could possibly be a reason why something didn't get delivered. We always give the post office's phone number, call, talk to the post office, make sure they got there. Here's the trackings, here's the postage receipts, whatever. So ask for those things. If you do suspect that something might not be mailed, make sure you actually have the stuff from the printer. As far as not mailing, almost non-existent. When a mail carrier throws out mail, they have to do something with it, right? If you have a mail carrier delivers around like 500-600 homes, that's typically the size of a route, 500 to 600. Like if you look at a route, that's one mail carrier's daily route, 500 to 600 homes. That's like maybe this much mail of postcards, that's maybe it's like 6 stacks. It's maybe this high or something. Where are they going to put that every day?
Right.
Where does a mail carrier decide? And this is just your mailing. You know, they have other stuff. They have a lot of a mail carrier stuff. They have a lot of stuff. They have 1,000+ pieces every single day that they have to deliver. That's a lot. Like, where do you throw this out every single day? Every single mail truck has GPS. Every single mail in the entire country has GPS. They have a scanner, and that scanner shows if they made hard braking, if they made turns they weren't supposed to, if they backed up they're only allowed to back up at so much. If they go too many feet, it flags the thing.
Oh, wow.
If you are in a mail truck and you went off the beaten path, it would get flagged like instantly. And then you have cameras everywhere. So you'd have to find a dumpster or there's cameras everywhere. That's why when these things show up in the mail, on headlines, they get caught. It's like instantly. Instantly they see, here's the video of this mail carrier, and it's almost always a temp carrier, someone who's like pretty new or covering, and they were so overwhelmed. They're under so much pressure to deliver these pieces. There's no time to go out of the way. And they get, every couple times a year, someone goes postal and they dump mail into a dumpster, and they're literally found. And then the postal police, the inspectors come in and they pull it out of the garbage and they recover all this mail, and they find that there's, 5,000 pieces of mail, and it gets recovered. Like, these are huge issues when this happens. It's like a plane crash. Wow. It's like literally like a plane crash. There's thousands of planes every day going around, but every now and then something crashes, and there's a huge investigation and stuff that happens. It's the same thing. You could not physically throw mail out. And what are they doing? They're filtering your mail, like saying, oh, this is junk. I don't think they'll want this. Are they the human span? They take all the time and say, oh yeah, Dalton doesn't want, no, he don't want that one. He wants this one. Like, do you really think they they're your human filter and they just say, nah, let's not, I don't think they need this one.
Right.
Do we all get junk mail? Yes. Right. Yeah. We all get mail. If you're saying that they're throwing it all out, then we wouldn't get any junk mail.
Right. We
would only get the things that they deem are worth giving. So if you do 10,000 pieces, or let's say 5,000 pieces, that's like 5 routes on a 5,000 piece mailer. So you would have, people think, oh, they threw it all away. Where are 5 mail carriers plus the postal clerk, the sorters, the postmaster, all getting in together? Okay, let's toss this out.
They've got a big burn pit outside.
5 different people committing 6, 7 different people committing felonies, risking their entire, just so you don't get a postcard in the mail. Like, what? It doesn't happen. It doesn't. They don't take 600 pounds of your mailer, which is just a 20th of what arrives every day in the post office, and they just keep shoveling it into an incinerator. All 6 of them. So they would have to all be in cahoots. It just does not happen. It doesn't happen. So what happens is someone doesn't get a mailer, right? And then they freak out. Two things happen. One, they know someone who didn't get a mailer, and now they're worried that it didn't get delivered because they think it all got thrown out. Or 2, they didn't get any response. That's usually what it is. They didn't get any response. And now they're like, I think they all got destroyed. I'm sorry you didn't get a listing, from a $500 ad that you spent. So usually they're bid and they don't have a coupon. Like, there's a lot of reasons why they didn't get response. If someone didn't get a postcard, there's so many reasons why. Those numbers aren't perfectly accurate. If you have 633 on the route, there might actually be 670. And there might be 40 people that are on that route that the post office just hasn't updated their system with. So there's going to be 30, 40 people or 5 or however many people that aren't getting the pieces. They're not going to get a pieces because the count wasn't correct. Maybe you didn't bundle them perfectly and you're short 4 of them, and 4 more people didn't get a piece. The routes change all the time because maybe there's an aggressive dog. They won't deliver to that house. There's 3 people on vacation on the route that are having their mail forwarded. There's a vacant home. all these things change the numbers of, or you have a carrier who they don't have to deliver the EDDM all in one trip because it's not
Yeah.
first class mail. They have to deliver everything quick, but the first class and the priority has to go first. So they may say, I only have enough time to deliver half of these today. And they deliver half, but then they don't totally remember where they left off the next day. So they start it maybe at a different point in the route, and maybe a few people didn't get it because they didn't remember what house they left off the EDDM the previous day, or maybe they're off the next day and a covering carrier starts off and he doesn't know that they still have some of these left, and he delivers to the same houses a couple times. There's that happens. There's so many things that will happen, but things getting thrown out in huge, it's like a plane crash. You get on a plane knowing that one plane every year something is going to crash, but it's nothing to be concerned about. And you should know this too. I always forget the percentage, but most digital ads clicks are fraudulent, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to like, I think it's up to 30% on some cases.
30%, yeah, are fraudulent. So people don't seem to have a problem with that, but they'll, if 90% of your mailers go out, it's really nothing compared to how much of click fraud, where you're trusting Google saying, oh yeah, we delivered this. Oh yeah, here's 1,000 impressions. It's just a number.
Yeah, that's a great point.
There's gonna be a carrier that doesn't deliver every single house for whatever reason. There's weird stuff like, it's called undeliverable business mail. If a carrier's lazy, he can throw like 100 pieces at the end of it. They are under crazy time restrictions to deliver their mail. Postal carriers will randomly have an inspector shadow them, and they have to go through their route. This happens to every carrier, like once every year, every 2 years or something. A postal inspector person will shadow them with them on their route and time it so that they know exactly how much time it takes, and you can't go slower. They're with you. So now they know this route takes X amount of time. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Their time so they can't fight. There's no time to stop off at and then have everything GPS tracked and the route. There's no time to conveniently filter your mail of what they perceive as junk and then go find a place to go dump it in someone's yard. It just doesn't happen. And when it does happen, it's instantly discovered. That person goes to jail. It's a felony. It makes a major headline. Your mailers are getting delivered, within a 10% or something, weird random numbers that are off. And that's my rant.
Super interesting to circle back to the business owners that have such big egos that their first thought is it didn't go out instead of my offer just sucked.
Yeah, I know.
And a lot that we've heard at the $150 price point, a lot of people say, oh, for $150, it's worth it just to get my name out there. Mm. And I love when they say that because, if you're a fencing company and you're mailing now and nobody wants a fence right now, but you keep mailing to them next year when they're like, oh, it's time for a fence. Who's that person that's always sending us mailers? That's what it's all about.
I like to use the, even if you're not totally sure, at least this will keep your competitor off there. You don't want the other fence guy. You don't want another fence
guy.
I'd love to have you on there, but if you don't want to, I got to have a fence guy on there. It'd be worth it just to have you on there. I use that with realtors a lot because they really don't like when they see another realtor on the thing.
Yeah. Something else that I wanted to mention that's helping with the client retention and getting clients to buy our other services, there's something called Mailbox Power that we use. And since we're so big into direct mail, we thought that it would be a great way to kind of mail to people that have participated with us. So if anybody's done multiple mailers or bought large spots with us, we send them a postcard. It's actually what we use to send your card and your candies to you, Jake. Yeah. So you can customize it. You can put their logo on there. So if I wanted to send it to the fencing company and say, thanks for being a great customer. And we actually did send it to the fencing company, the dentist, auto detailer, just send them a little postcard. And then it just kind of has on there what else we do. a little brownie gift or a candy gift with their logo on it. And they absolutely love it. That's the way that we've been able to get more clients as well. Like, it's just a nice personal touch thing that we took the time to send to them. And through Mailbox Power, it will actually essentially like white label it. They make
Yeah.
it look like it came directly
Came from
from
you.
your hands. But yeah, so that's been a fantastic addition to our
Super
business
cool.
as well.
You know, something I just thought that I'll ask you quick before we wrap this up is, are there things on the digital side of it that you will not do that people ask you, like web design? Are there things that you just won't?
Social media management.
Yep.
Could you,
Never.
talk about that?
Yeah, there's too many moving parts. We kind of had it set up for us at one point where it was like set to automatically post. And even though it's automated, it's still so much work creating the content, setting up the sequence. It's just not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
No, we don't do video editorial
Oh
work
yeah.
either.
Mhm.
That stuff is time consuming. But we've done CRM build outs before, so the list can go on for what we can, but there's not really much we don't.
No, that's
go
really
social media
insightful.
management.
Because people are watching this and they're often just getting into local marketing. Sometimes they need to hear it from someone. Okay, don't do this. Okay, maybe I shouldn't get into that. Here's someone who's a step above me that's saying or validating my own, I hate doing social posting. And now they hear that and they're like, you know what? I am done with this. I am not doing this. How is AI? Let's talk about AI for a minute. How are you using AI? How has that changed things?
Yeah. Well, actually, we just started. You want to talk about that because you just set that up. The chat.
So we're using AI in reputation management, and that's basically like where it's handling the conversation for responses on all reviews. And then we're really using it as a creative too. So we're bouncing ideas. We use a website called u.com, and it's got every learning language model in it, from Grok, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek. So you name it, it's got it in there. And it's really not like a tool that, other than you can just have conversations with it and kind of get copy written for you. And then we just started using ChatGPT specifically on their hosting servers, where you can connect your Gmail, your Google Drive, your Canva account, and then you can actually, once you're in agent mode, you can have it to start to do outreach for you automatically. Like, it'll open its own virtual window, and then it'll start to draft emails. It'll do research for you. It'll find emails for you, and then basically you can kind of turn into a little VA at first. So that's kind of how we're really using it in our business currently.
I really hope people will reach out to you for help, coaching, pay you whatever, because you guys are a step above a lot of people.
We started 9x12 in May.
Yeah.
Has it only been that much for it seems like
Yeah.
you guys have been around for longer than that. Yeah, dang. Making a splash.
Yeah. But if you have just a couple of minutes, I'd love to hear your feedback on our design. You kind of mentioned it in one of your lives, but your design videos are like my favorite ones.
Thank you.
Because
I need to hear that, because I need to make more. Yeah.
Not only are we trying to get more clients with this, we want the clients to get what they paid for. And so we're always looking at ways to improve our design. So, the latest design that we've got here, I'd love to hear your feedback on that and your expert opinion.
Yeah, totally. Let me see if I can bring this up on here. That'll make it easier. This is the most recent one?
Yeah. Yeah. We've kind of kept the same design for the last 5 that we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to do this one? The Black Bull in West Valley West? Yeah. All right. What specifically are you looking for a critique on? Just how overall look, how the ads look, how the just
like overall look. We want it to be eye-catching, where like the customer knows what they're getting as soon as they pull it out of their mailbox. So we want it as, what's the word I'm looking for? Central location for all of the offers. Like, all the offers are in the same place.
Yep.
And we just wanted it to show value. Like, this isn't just another annoying postcard. Like, there's tons of really good offers on here for you. So that's kind of what we were going for.
Yeah, and this is for anyone watching. This is the community card format. I'm pretty sure you guys do 6.5 by 12, right? On these 6.5 by 12, which is perfect. How'd you go with the green? Is that anything like related to the area or anything, or pick that green?
Kind of. So Black Bull is a golf course community, so just thought golf golf course.
Totally. So people, when they see these, they always want to copy, and they'll say, oh, Rachel and Dalton use green, I got to use green. You know, that these choices may be localized because of a local school or sports or whatever. You've got to figure out what will be good for your card. So that's, I think, important that people just don't see this and say, oh, that they're successful, I got to use that same green.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Right.
There's a reason why
our cards are other. Yeah. Our cards
you
are
use
colors
other
matching
colors
the
for your cards.
communities. Yep.
Gradient is good. The black and the green, you know, having that depth, because that makes it look, it gives it depth and it doesn't look so flat. So having that gradient is definitely good. I think in many cases, whatever color scheme you use, having a soft gradient is useful because it does just give the card more depth. So that is good. I love, and I'm a big proponent of the templated ad structure where these coupons are in the same spaces. No ad is specifically popping out there, which is good. This makes ads simple to make out the door, and it reduces the complexities of making designs for people, right? And people hanging up, oh, I don't like this, I redesign it. Everyone's getting the same kind of format. So that is exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. Not everyone listens to me on that. I harp on it, but a lot of people don't. And then you got to spend a fortune custom designing every single ad, right? And when you're talking really small price points, you got to shave these costs down. You can't be spending $50 every ad because it'll eat up all your profit, right? You've got to make these in a template fashion that are quick and easy. So that is excellent. And you can make ads different by changing the color of the coupons, which you're doing here. People will say on here, oh, 10% off isn't anything and stuff, but whatever. It's not, you don't have to do 20% off, 50% off. You're just getting these people on. It's a coupon. I think that is totally fine. I don't think you have to fight with clients of getting them higher percentages off, because then you end up, I call it the accidental consultant. If you are trying to edge them onto doing higher percentages and they don't get a great response, they're like, well, you told me to do this. You know, I'm just doing what you said. I don't like that. I would rather just pick something that they want to do and have them on the card, and they'll just keep doing it.
Yep.
Design wise, it's really it's amateur. You know, it's really amateur. It's totally fine. It's not bad. Like if a true designer were to do these, it would look different. There would be a grid structure. Things would be probably aligned all the same way. You wouldn't have things kind of haphazardly. I see that because I'm work in that area. I see things haphazardly, kind of some things are center aligned. You've got pictures and there's no grid structure. I can tell you don't work with a grid, which is totally fine. You don't have to do that. This is a $200 price point. It's not. And no one else is going to notice that. So that's totally fine. I think these are easy to read. You've got the logos. I would say if I was to give some kind of suggestion for improvement, I can't tell what all these are right away.
Okay.
So I see the offers, but I don't know what they are. So as the consumer, there may be offers in here that they could use but they're not seeing that, right? They would really have to look at this card over and over. Like I'm looking at this one here, the Bozeman insulation. I can't tell. I mean, I'm just now starting to understand this is for I can't tell what that's really for.
You know,
I can't. Is that insulation for a garage? Is it the picture doesn't really totally tell me. I think that picture is really small. I can't tell what that is. So a lot of people will gloss over that.
Yeah.
Some things should probably spit out what these are for.
Yeah. Okay.
Junk in the trunk. Like I can't tell what that's for.
Yeah.
As a recipient, I cannot instantly tell what exactly that's for. Now the 10% off interior and exterior painting and staining can totally tell what that's for. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. And it's got the paint cans on it. Probably would put a paintbrush. I see one in the logo that took me a while to see. it's always helpful to see these from a fresh eye, that it didn't sit there designing it the whole time, you know?
Right.
I agree.
I just try to frame myself as the recipient. I don't know anything about them getting in the mail. I don't have a lot of attention span, and just this not being able to instantly tell what these are for will hurt the response.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
See how I can tell free home sales valuation? Can tell that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell what the installation, locals only. I don't know what that's. No clue what
that
that's
one
for.
We don't take credit for
That's
that
what
one.
they wanted.
We didn't make that.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's
we
a
just
restaurant.
have to bite the bullet and make them happy.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hard to tell what exactly all these things are for. As marketers, and this is our baby, we're doing it. We think everyone's going to take them and sit down and they're going to go through them, and they're not. People are going to make a quick determination if this is something maybe we should keep around. And a lot of people will.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, there's a bunch of local, okay, let me set this down. I don't want to throw it away. And we'll look at it after. A lot of people do, but there will be people that would have bought maybe the insulation and they just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They saw the other stuff and said, this isn't something I'm interested in.
And
threw it out, when maybe that could have been a little more pronounced. So you can do that visually. You can do that visually, or just have in words what this is for.
Yeah.
Power washing. You put power washing.
Right.
Insurance. You
Simple.
literally, you got to put that. You only have a split second to tell them what it's for. That clarity is really, really important. I'm struggling to find what a lot of these are for right off at a glance.
Yeah.
Roofing. You can tell. Roofing. You can tell. Someone who's in the market for roofing, they'll pay attention to that. They'll see roof. Oh, roofing. Yeah, we're thinking about doing our roof. Can't tell the cleaning services. That should probably be something, should be more to show cleaning service, because even looking around here, it is really hard to tell what that's for. There's a picture of the staff. I don't know what that is. There's no cleaning.
We tried to advise them against that. We were like, the staff is not needed on the postcard, but
I know
they were like
happy and to just take their
It's like, oh,
it's just not clear. It's just not super good. But overall, this looks like something people would say, hey, this is probably useful. Let's keep this around. We'll look at this, which is the good thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll take that into account on our next one.
Just make them
and see what we can improve.
Clear. I know you can't always convince the people to do it. The advertisers.
Yeah.
You can't, but that would be the only critique. That'd be the main critique I'd have. Other than that, it looks great.
Thanks, Jake. We appreciate that.
No problem. I appreciate you guys.
There you go.
What do you eat in Montana? What do you eat? And what's the thing there?
Gosh, I don't know if there's a thing here.
I'd say there's good food here.
Steak, right?
Yeah,
I'd say go to another state.
It's probably
for
pretty
food.
good.
Yeah.
What do you go to Montana for? People go there for skiing, right? And the
yes,
mountains.
The mountains.
There's Yellowstone is half of a portion of Montana's in that in Wyoming, and then Glacier. Come. The people are great here. Everybody's nice. Don't come for the food. There's really nothing.
Do you have
Huckleberry.
Water? Is there water?
Do we have? Oh yeah, there's tons of lakes, rivers.
Yeah, there's the biggest freshwater lake in Flathead.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to bring this up too. You mentioned the excavating, which is big there. You said, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People
will ask, Jake, what business do I put on? And I always suggest you got to look at what's big in your area, because every geographical area has different. Regions have different things. There's scorpions are a problem in Arizona or something. I don't have that problem. You'll never have that ad where I am, where that may be big pool service can be year round in some states. You've got to look at what's big in your particular area. And that might be something that excavating would never be something I would really think of having in an ad, where it could be a huge thing in your area. Everyone's geographic area is different. And even you had said in the beginning, you were having a hard time filling 9x12s in your city, but that's sometimes markets are weird. Houston, you can fill up these things all day, whereas in Missoula, it may be hard. Every geographic region is different. They respond differently.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to go with a community card instead of a big 9x12.
Right. And that's exactly what we had to do. I mean, most of the people, the feedback we were getting on the 9x12s were like, it's just not in our budget. We can't afford that. So I was like, okay, how do we make something else that is in their budget where they can still participate with us? And I mean, that's just been kind of a slam dunk. That's where we're thinking of taking the community cards into a bigger market because at that $150 price point, I mean, if we can fill it in 3 days to a week here in a bigger market, it would probably just like completely crush. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How are you picking the areas to mail to?
So for Missoula, we do Miller Creek, Rattlesnake, and University District. And those are like well-known areas in Missoula that business owners like to target. So like you tell an excavator, hey, these are going to 2,500 homes in Miller Creek. They know they're large lots, they're hilly, they might need to do dirt work, they might be adding a shed, they might be adding an RV spot. So when you say like Miller Creek, Rattlesnake, those kind of things, they know that that's a really good area that they want to target.
Yeah. Are you doing the same when in Bozeman, and if you do Indiana, where like, are you just picking areas that are easily distinguishable?
Yeah, and we kind of use AI, like, I mean, sorry, our dog is whining.
Yeah, I hear it.
But so we just use AI to kind of do research on the neighborhoods if like we're not super familiar with Bozeman. So we'll ask the AI, what neighborhoods would business owners like to target for marketing? And then we just kind of find that and locate it on EDDM and
I do that with tree. I have a lot of tree clients we do these tree letters for, and I'll just punch in a ChatGPT what neighborhoods would be great for a tree removal service to target in Savannah, Georgia, or whatever, and it spits out, and then you can go on. The important thing is to actually double check these things and go on and look at it in Google Maps. But it will tell you, it will pick this stuff out.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
All right, guys. So I had a great time talking with you both.
Yeah, it was great to meet you.
Yeah. If anyone wants to hit you up for coaching, I'm going to put all your information down below. What is the best way to reach out to you guys? Email, call? What's the best?
Yeah, I would say email, call, or text. Any of them. I'll probably respond in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. All right, guys. All right. Well, have a fantastic day.
Pretty fast fingers.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye, Jake.
Bye, Jake.
See ya.